Rivals, welcome to Back's Attacks. You may have noticed I haven't had videos in a few days, and that's because I haven't been playing in a few days, and that's because I have found the Force of Nature event to be very, very disappointing. But rather than just rant or rave, I've tried to come up with suggestions or a plea to Space Ape on how I think they can improve the game and how they can keep their fans from becoming so frustrated. So let me share a few thoughts on that today. But let's start by keeping a few positive things in mind, things I've been trying to remind myself and to remind my kingdom mates who've also been very frustrated with recent events. First of all, Rival Kingdoms is a great game. Lots and lots of people like it. The fact that Space Ape is developing new content all the time, coming out with new events, and trying to keep the game very, very balanced is a really good thing. So thanks for doing that. But here's the thing. Whenever you have a big event or a change like this, you have to ask yourself one question. Is this change, is this event, is this new thing going to draw people into the game more, or is it going to frustrate the heck out of your very loyal players? Alright, now the Force of Nature event had really great potential. We've heard about the statue system coming out, we've been watching the Twitch streams, we've been getting excited about that, seeing how there are different levels of the statues. It's a very innovative event, and it's a good way for both very high-end, very aggressive players and also casual but active players to have a great time together. As was implemented, however, really, it was an epic fail. The reason is you had absolutely no chance in this event to get the main thing, either Yagumo or the new statue, without paying for playing the game. That's a major problem. Paying to have an edge is one thing. Paying to be able to have more battle stones or to be able to have a greater chance at getting an ancient, that's fine. And I know, we all know that the players who are going to be at the top are going to be those who are willing to invest in the game, and that's fine too. But having to pay to even, kind of participate in the game at the full level that it's intended, that's a major problem. That would be like in Clash of Clans if you had to pay in order to get your heroes. Now we know that those who spend the most money on gems are going to have the highest level heroes, but it's possible for those who want to be very active and very patient in order to develop their heroes, and they're available to anyone who is willing to work through the game and get up to Town Hall level 7, 8, 9. So in Force of Nature, unlike the Bane Maw or the Adhere event, there was no chance of getting Yagumo, which really is where you got most of the JD cords from, without using diamonds or paying to get a chest. Not just one chest, but multiple chests. In addition, to have any chance whatsoever at even getting enough the JD Accordance to get any kind of statue, even the bottom level one, you had to pay a significant amount of money in order to get the battle stones to do that. We have players in our kingdom that are just playing non-stop, just all day and night, and without spending any money, they could not get even close to that 250 spot. About 3 days into the event, to be even at that 250 spot to have a chance at the statue, you're looking at about 1,500 acorns. The most active players that I'm seeing are having no more than about 500, and that's playing it day or night, letting the battle stones regenerate. Finally, unlike previous events, the Jade Uncords have no value in themselves. You can't use them to buy chests as we have in the past. So before, even if you didn't get Bane Maw or Adhera, you could still get some really cool stuff and had something to do with those acorns or benefits that you were accumulating. Not so in the Force of Nature event. Alright, let's talk for a few minutes about another major source of frustration that I've heard a lot of people talking about, and that is the idea of nerfing ancients. Now, rebalancing is a good thing. Let's look at Selonia. She's overpowered. You know it. We know it. Bob Dole knows it. Everybody knows it. But a lot of people have dumped a large amount of Primus in. They've leveled her up, and so many others have come to rely on her as their only chance to do well, either in the arena or at the honor that they've gotten. And in a recent update, it was announced, but pulled at the last second, to swap her first spell and her third spell in order to try to rebalance this. Now, when you are trying to adjust a feature or benefit, especially when a lot of people really like it or are really benefiting from it, it's not a good idea to radically nerf or to just make the spell useless or broken. Switching the first and third spell for Selonia would completely destroy her as an ancient. Instead, you need to really look for an incremental way to rebalance or to tweak the spell. And it is possible to adjust that first spell in an incremental way. It's not really just an all or nothing thing. So for example, at present, if you have two troops, one at 0% health, just about ready to die, and one at full health, if you cast the transfusion spell on them, they will both end up being at 50%. In other words, the transfusion or the redistribution of health is complete. But it need not be a full redistribution. You could have it so that troops at 0 and 100% ended up after the spell at, say, 25 and 75%, or 60 and 40. The health bars just don't have to be completely equalized after the spell. So, for example, if instead of going from 0 to 50, it only goes up to 25%, well, then you're redistributing half of the health there. So without getting into all the math of it, basically there are two variables that you can play with. One is to say that not all the hit points are going to be there. So if you were to cast the transfusion on healthy troops, maybe 4% of their total health would be lost. And so spamming it several times would cause your troops and your army to lose hit points overall. That's one way to tone it down incrementally. The second is to simply not have the health bars redistribute all the way. And so basically you then get to just do some play testing, adjust those two variables, and you can get just the right level of balance that you want. You haven't fundamentally changed the spell. You haven't done something crazy like swap the first and the third spell, and people can still use Selonia and enjoy her, and she just toned down a bit. They did the same thing with Forveil, but in a better way. It used to be that his damage reduction was 50%, and that was just overpowered. So they pulled that back just a little bit to 35%. Folks, you know, they complained a little bit, but once they saw it in practice, they realized Forveil was still a very strong ancient, but wasn't quite as dominant as before. And that's what you're hoping to do with Selonia or any other nerf that you're looking to do within the game. You don't want it to be a true nerf, but rather a rebalance. Okay, so just to wrap it up, a few points I really hope that Space Ape will consider. First is that players who are active, loyal, and skillful, who are spending maybe some money in the game, but not a lot, they should be able to participate fully in all aspects of the game. And if they're not, frankly, the game's going to die. Now, we want you to make money. We think it's a great game, but if future events are as blatantly pay to win as a force of nature, that's not going to go well for your game, and really, it's not going to do well for the reputation of the company. And second, I just hope that you'll really consider the impact of changes to ancients, to nerfs, and the way that the arena system currently works. A lot of folks who have struggled so hard to get into the arena, it can take them weeks to get from 4750 to 5000, and they can be totally knocked out of the arena within just an hour or two after that. So I do hope that you guys continue to tweak and improve the game. We do love it. And we wish you all the best as you redesign the game and tweak it and try to balance it, to keep in mind both your loyal and active players, as well as those who are contributing financially strongly to the success of the company. They both need to be there. And Rivals, thanks for watching. If you have other comments or want to add your support for what's been shared in here, love you to subscribe, like, or leave a comment today. Thanks for watching.